Alright, let's open up the history books. Because you can't possibly understand today's global tire fire without looking at the mountain of kindling that was lit years ago. Today, we're doing a quick and dirty timeline of the Russia-Ukraine war. It all kicked off in late 2013 and into February 2014 with the Euromaidan revolution. Putin, not a fan of sovereign neighbors, responded by sending his little green men into Crimea that same month. By March 2014, he'd annexed it. The West wagged its finger, and in April 2014, Putin ignited a proxy war in the Donbass that would grind on for 8 years. Fast forward to February 24, 2022. Putin launched his full-scale invasion, expecting a victory parade in Kyiv in 3 days. Instead, by April 2022, his army was retreating from the capital, leaving horror in its wake. With the Blitzkrieg a total failure, the war became a brutal slog. We saw the fall of Mariupol in May 2022, and the year-long battle for Bakhmut, which Russia finally took in May 2023. Ukraine had its own successes, with massive counter-offensives in late 2022, but by June 2023, their next big push stalled out against miles of Russian minefields. And just when you thought it couldn't get more cynical, American politics entered the chat. The 2024 election turned Ukrainian aid into a political football. Trump campaigned on ending the war in 24 hours, which everyone knew was code for cutting off the cash. Sure enough, in January 2025, the Trump administration slams the brakes on aid. The official line was, "America first," and making Europe pay up. The unofficial result was panic in Kyiv and champagne popping in the Kremlin. For months, Ukraine's ammo supplies dwindled, and Russia, smelling blood, launched its biggest offensive in years. But then came the whiplash. After Russia made some shockingly fast gains and started looking like it might actually threaten a NATO border, the calculus in Washington suddenly changed. Faced with the prospect of looking weak and having lost Ukraine, the administration did a complete 180. Suddenly, aid was back on. It was rebranded, of course, probably called something like the Patriot Freedom Package, and sold as a brilliant new deal that Trump personally negotiated. The policy went from "not one more dime" to "here's all the dimes" in the span of a few months, leaving allies with whiplash and costing Ukraine dearly on the battlefield. So here we are in mid-2025, a decade after the first invasion, with a war that's been prolonged by Russian brutality and then almost lost due to American political theater. It's a monumental testament to the ego of one man in Moscow and the wildly unpredictable whims of another in Washington. So after watching the US treat its foreign policy like a reality TV show, here's the real question. Is this the wake-up call Europe needs to finally grow a spine and build a military that can defend its own backyard? Or will they just hit the snooze button and pray the next administration is more predictable? Let me know in the comments. And that's the way the world burns. If you appreciate this kind of depressing clarity, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another chapter of our decline. Stay snarky.